just wanted to,
This is from last week, we already read this.
Yes.
yeah, I sent you that letter last week just to kind of make you aware that we were having trouble filling some of the weekend shifts. I talked about that before. We kind of thought that might alleviate itself a little bit as we got through the summer months, but it doesn't seem to be the case. So I just wanted to let you know that we were working on trying to resolve that. We've been shuffling people around and filling with some overtime, but the long-term solution is to hire another part-timers to be able to fill some of those shifts that were coming up. We advertised for it. I thought to myself, I probably should let you know we're doing it.
Appreciate that.
So that's the reason I sent it out there, and we're back in the market, see if we can find somebody. There will be something in the budget for next year. We're requesting to hire and train another person, and if we're lucky finding someone, if we have some good fortune, we want to send them to the academy in January for the reasons I spelled out. Is when they'd be able to come online. Brian is going to graduate in November, and we should have him ready to go out on his own, probably around March, around town meeting time. But the whole process is taking a year to take place. So.
Doesn't happen overnight.
No,
Big
no.
investment.
Well, it's an investment of time
Right.
as well, you know. So that's why if we can find a candidate, we'd like to get him out in January, start him in the academy in January, have him active, being able to fill shifts sometime in the fall. So I wanted to make you aware of that. And anyway, I talked about possibility of if a last resort would be hiring another person. I don't want to come before the body and ask for another person.
I'll say, do you have those kind of numbers? I mean, just so we, kind of, I don't know, I sent an email asking that.
Well, I looked back when we, the last time I had asked, and the numbers in 2014 were, a full-time person was close to $80,000. When you get into all the benefits, pay benefits, and worst-case scenario was somebody on the family plan for healthcare. It was.
That's not including the training either, right?
No, that was we were just talking salary. That was $78,000.
Is the cost of training, it's not the same though, right? Because that's, full-time is, you're actually there at the academy for so many weeks, full-time, correct?
Yeah, we pay them at a different rate. I don't know what the rate is.
But don't we also pay for the academy?
We don't pay for the academy.
Oh, we don't? Okay, I thought we did, sorry.
No, that's paid for by the state through a fund.
Okay,
So that's not the issue, but
oh, good.
my hope is to be able to find one or two more part-time people to be able to keep doing what we've been doing. It's the most cost-effective thing, and it should carry us through for a few more years to do it this way.
Good.
So that was the thing with that email I sent you. Just a couple other things that came up, just to update you on the replacement cruiser. We had purchased the cruiser back at the end of August, or the beginning of September. We chose Ospey Mountain Electronics, which was a low bidder on the prices we got for the upfit. We delivered the vehicle in September 7th. We delivered it. We purchased the radio. We purchased the radar under the state contract. It's still out there waiting for some final parts to be delivered and for the radio to be programmed, and they expect to send it back to us sometime in early November. So it could be in another couple of weeks before we get it in operation.
What about the cruiser that got hit? Oh,
Yeah, so I was gonna tell you, D3. I was struck by a utility vehicle. October 5th, it was parked and unmanned at the time. They came out and did the appraisal this morning, and I don't know what the results are. So we're waiting to hear from that. We're still using it on details during the day. It still functions fine during the day. The damage was to the hood, to both operators and passenger side light assemblies in that fiberglass near the top between the grill and the fender. Some of that was damaged.
You guys saw the picture?
Yeah, I did, yeah. incident.
Oh, they were in the
Yeah,
mailbox.
Yeah, get a bit banged up, but she's still chugging away, so.
Now, you've got one cruiser that's got the left front light that's out.
Yeah, it's a marker light. It's just a running light.
Oh, okay.
They're gonna give themselves a defective equipment tag.
Yeah, it's not one of those lights that's required.
no, he's talking about one.
Oh, your headlight, the
your-
headlight's right out. the
He's talking
right-
about one of the Explorers,
Ford
not the
Explorer.
one that got,
No, I know.
okay.
It's the Tahoe.
No.
It's been out for a while. We brought it in for the inspection down to Nichols. The light came on, it didn't go out, so we weren't able to fix it.
I was
then.
coming in yesterday and I noticed, you know,
Yeah.
the right-hand headlight was on, the left one that faces, you know, traffic was out, completely out.
Headlight or?
It's one of the marker lights.
It's the headlight, this was the headlight.
I didn't see it, I'm not aware that the headlight, I know it was a
Well, that was just
daytime
yesterday he saw it.
Been out for a long
Yeah,
time.
just yesterday afternoon.
Do the officers that use it, do they do like a quick safety check around?
Yeah,
checking all
we
lights
know that
and-
the running light's out, and it's been out for a while. So we know about that.
Everybody tells them.
It's just, that you gotta, it's not easy to fix that, you gotta.
Take the other one off.
Yeah, there we go, and then we'll be all set with that. Yeah, that's basically what I wanted to tell you, up to date, John, on the vehicles, and let you know that we were in the process of trying to find somebody.
What cruiser we're gonna get rid of?
3.
The one that got hit?
Yeah.
That was the one that was gonna go.
That's the plan.
That would be interesting then, because why would we fix a cruiser we're gonna get rid of? I mean, is it gonna bring us more money that way, or would we,
For all I know, they're gonna total it.
yeah.
I don't know what's gonna happen, I'm waiting to see what the appraisal's gonna say.
Well, we're not obligated to fix it, are we? If they,
No,
I don't
They
believe
cut
so.
us,
think
if they
so.
cut us a check, then,
Yeah, we do what we want, right?
Yeah, so we'll just kinda see what the appraiser says. and-
Yeah, we have $1,000 deductible,
Yeah.
so whatever the appraisal comes in, it'll be less than $1,000, but now that the, Primex has our information, which I sent, which is the pictures and everything else that I could until I get that report from, what was it, Hopkinton?
Hanukkah.
Henniker?
You can send it.
And that's what I was originally waiting for, and I said, well, it was like over a week, and I decided to get it off to them, so that I could just get that information to them, and then they would go after the,
I thought we were gonna get, the fire station was gonna pick up one of the cruisers.
That's the Tahoe,
So next round.
so that'll be next year.
Next year, well, was that gonna be this year?
No, the Tahoe is, it's one of our primary patrol vehicles, so when car 3 goes out of service, when we bring the new vehicle in service, we're gonna take that vehicle and put that into like a secondary role.
Gotcha, okay.
And so we'll keep the mileage down on that, and then it'll have something good to turn over to the fire department if that's what happened, to be good vehicle for them.
Yeah,
Can I ask a
of
question?
course you can. You can ask all you want.
The car was parked and the utility vehicle backed into it, so why is there a deductible?
because they're gonna be paying us, because our insurance is doing an estimate on it, but then they have to go after, the insurance company has to go after
Okay,
them.
and they reimburse you the deductible,
Correct,
okay.
hopefully, if
Yeah.
he's got, yeah,
That's my understanding.
yeah. It's the way they do it. Even if it's not your fault,
Yeah.
you get that less your deductible, and then they go after the other,
Okay,
the, faulty party, whatever it is.
Keep us posted.
Yeah, we'll hear about it soon, I'm sure, we'll hear what they have to say, and just figure out where we're gonna go from there.
You guys have anything else for
No.
Chief?
nothing else.
I know you've been away from, out of town for a bit, and I've been dealing with grandkids recently here, so when, are you gonna be available anytime soon, so we can get together and try to finalize our
Be around.
discussions?
See, I'll be around all next week.
Okay, I'll text you then and see when.
Sure.
Because we have a cemetery trustee meeting Tuesday, select board on Thursday, so maybe an oddball time, we can catch.
Yeah, just let me know, I'm pretty wide open next week.
Okay.
Monday's,
Halloween.
Halloween's a
Oh,
little
yeah,
tight
it's,
with
yeah.
that, but other than that, the rest of the
You
week.
guys are gonna leave that one alone. So, were on vacation here and there, and, so, let's try to get that squared away. So we can finish it up.
No, that works.
Okay, great. Alrighty then. Next on the agenda, health trust benefit rates, 2017. John, you here for the duration, or do we need to jump right on you because you weren't here earlier?
It'll depend what the duration is.
Pardon?
It'll depend what the duration is.
Hopefully not too long here.
Yeah,
Because this is the last thing besides you, I just
that's fine.
be able to get it done.
Yep.
It's going down.
Sounds good.
Alright, gentlemen, we have in front of us the, Town of Dunbarton 15 under rating, for the insurance coming up in the next calendar year.
Now, the original packet is in your
Yes.
mail, and
Well, I think you also emailed it to us, didn't you? Cause I remember reading this.
I think I did,
I'm pretty
cause
sure
I know
you
you
did.
liked it, this is,
Yeah.
last year you wanted more information, more time to read
Yep.
it.
And I remember reading it.
The overall, rate for 2017 for the groups of 50 and under saw an increase of 8.6%. And in that cover sheet explains that depending on your particular town, could fluctuate up to that point. The town of Dunbarton is seeing an increase of 5.3% over last year's rates for the same plan that we amended last year. So that would be the same.
Yeah, we have a deadline of, the end of November, right?
Correct.
So we gotta, either decide to go with this or change to a different plan if we want, so it's in effect for the 1st January. Because if it goes after for your edification, because he looked at it last year, we did that. We got behind the 8 ball and we didn't do it until, probably because of all the holidays and such, but we did it in December, early December, and it didn't cut it, so it didn't take effect till the 1st of March.
You need to give the employees 30 days
Yeah.
notice
Yeah.
for open enrollment.
So we had that, kinda like a hiccup for the first 2 months at one rate, then went to a different rate. So ideally, I'd like to try to get this nailed down before, Thanksgiving. They do have folks that come in here and show us other plans and give us the,
And she was supposed to do that.
Yep.
She offered to do that, yep, yep, but I thought it was important that you look at it, and if you
Yeah.
decided you wanna meet with her, then I would schedule her.
personally, my opinion is I would like to meet with her and see what the other options are. I'm
Yeah.
not saying that we're gonna change what we have, but at least see what we have for other options, so we do our due diligence there,
Right.
you know, cause,
I mean, cause the increase isn't overwhelming,
No.
but it's been like that with the healthcare industry this year,
right.
so.
So, I mean, it goes up, what, 5.3% is, just a smidgen over $500 a month.
But again, it'd be nice to know,
Yep.
Yeah, $546
what they have
a month
out there,
increase.
you know.
You agreement with that, sir?
Yeah, no, I'm fine.
So I'll get-
Have her come in.
I'll get them in, try to get her in for next week.
Yeah.
What's her name? I think it's Candace, I don't remember her last name.
They're
I'll
just
get
the health trust.
Health trust representative for us.
Yeah, no, she was really helpful last year, but, oh God, I think we had like 5 different options.
Yeah,
or
we
something
did,
like that.
yeah, it was,
You know,
Yeah.
so it gives a little bit of time to go through them and ask questions and decipher it, cause you gotta,
Right, it was 5, but I think you had to limit yourself to
we're at,
3,
yeah,
is that right? Was it 3?
I'm trying to remember.
Out of 5?
Well, you had 5, but in different things, it was almost like a cafeteria kind of thing, you pull
Right.
this and that,
Yeah.
it made
Yeah.
things change.
But I know that when they talked about it there, I guess there's 5 different now this is what she's saying, they're gonna be going out to promote, and
Yep,
it's-
yep.
they have 5 different plans,
Yep.
but the choices are gonna be limited to within 3, you're gonna pick 3 plans,
Okay,
and that's.
and then in our case, we only pick one plan, so we don't give that option
Right,
Mhm.
of picking.
Yeah, because otherwise it makes it hard for us to take and manage all that,
Yeah,
because we have limited staff.
right,
yeah. So I will get her in here, meet with you guys,
Alright. Sounds like a plan.
alright.
Alright. John, you're last on the list, besides if we're non-public, so,
Yeah.
no.
Yep, just sort of reporting back and asking some questions, just before starting out on the town garage lighting.
Yep, okay.
Yeah. So far, Jeff guided me through, don't know the size of the lamps there or anything yet, because they were all up there. He found one spare bulb, which was a 175, which is smaller than I would have thought would have been there, but that's okay, right? So, shall I proceed and get a lighting analysis and quote?
I think that's what we kinda asked
Yeah,
for,
I would
wasn't
think so,
it?
yeah.
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 Yeah, and there's lighting in the bays. And then there are also three outdoor fixtures, you know, those that
Old style lighting.
yeah, and the one by the gas pump, it had a motion sensor on it,
Mm-hmm.
but Jeff was saying that's really kind of like cranky. The people who get the gas there have kind of learned to work around it, but there's that one, and then there are two similar over on the salt shed,
Mm-hmm.
and then inside the salt shed there are two reflector type lamps. Those can be just replaced with anything that's a reflector. But do you want to include the outside lamps, or those three outside lamps, or get them quoted as a option? What's
I
your,
would think so.
huh?
You wanna do a whole lighting package,
Yeah,
you could break it into pieces.
that's
Yeah.
where I was kinda headed.
Yeah, do it all, or, you know, 2 quotes kind of thing.
Right,
Or one quote, just break, like, break it
Yeah,
out as
just
different
break it out as
things.
line items.
okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, that's something which can be a little bit harder to work with for the vendors, because just them coming out and doing anything is a charge.
Yeah.
And so if they don't know which options you're gonna choose, it's sort of hard for them to come up with a really final solid price, so they will usually jack it a little bit just to
Yeah.
cover.
Yeah. I mean, they should be able to give us, you know, total package and then
Mhm.
Right.
option 1, option 2.
And there's the rebates there vary depending from 20 up to 50%. So in the quote, in the analysis of what is there is one of the factors that determines the size of the rebate. So we wouldn't know that until after they have looked at what's there and stuff.
So the
Package.
rebate's based on what you're replacing?
To an extent, yes. It isn't like 3 or 4 years ago where it was a 50% rebate. It has gotten a little more
Yeah.
complicated, you know,
Yeah.
as things do, so. All right, so, and then the bay that was added on to the original building has got a few T12s there. And that is the only lighting over there. Do you wanna add any lighting in that area? Or, leave that decision to Jeff?
To be honest with you, I have not been in that building. I've been outside of it, never been in, so I honestly don't know what it
Yeah.
looks like, or know what it really, what it has.
But I think Jeff should answer that though.
Huh?
Jeff should answer that.
Yeah. Oh, and,
I mean, we just wanna make it safe, you know?
Yeah.
yeah, that is the other issue with the outside ones
Mhm.
is those are HIDs, so when you show up there, you want light, you gotta wait 5 if they were LEDs, they would come on.
Yep.
You know, so just as a
Yep.
bit for the internet. And then, once I get in, so that I think settles the
Good question.
approach for the garage.
Quick question. When you talk about rebates, now who's the rebate with, the electric company or the lighting company?
I don't know, both,
Okay,
sort of.
so you kinda have to use their preferred brand then?
Well, yeah. One of their certified contractors,
Mhm.
I believe. But, that is funded out of Reggie,
Mhm.
which is the 1.8% you would pay on your bill, you know? So, but the rules for that have gotten a little more complex.
Okay, I was just wondering, cause I wasn't sure, cause I know before, you know, you buy certain fixtures, you get rebates on it, then I know the electrical companies were doing rebates, so I wasn't sure if it was one or the same or both, or
No, this is,
just whatever you can do to maximize it for us.
yes,
That'd be awesome,
right.
in my opinion.
Yep, and if the vendors who get quotes come up with any other thoughts, that's also fine, right?
You know, like the outside lights, if they could be motion sensor and photo sensor, you know, so that way, you know, you have motion sensor still part of the light package and, you know, the photo sensor as well.
Yeah,
You know, that way they're not coming on during the day either, you know, only at night.
right, motion sensor in that yard, I think would be less of a problem than here. I've worked with those sensors on a few of the jobs, and they are cranky.
I know a lot of the LED lights are coming with both, now they're actually built into the head,
Right,
you know, they have the motion sensor and the photo sensor both as integral parts of it.
correct. This one here is that way.
Mhm.
It's not gonna come on if if it's not dark.
Right.
Yeah. So, and then moving into the other area, and
Come back.
I looked at the past year's usage on the town buildings. You know I do that, right? And, cause, like, on the town garage, it was $1,633 for
Is it
the
possible
year.
for us to get a copy of that?
Huh?
Can we get a copy of that?
If I could, yes, or I can send it with an email, or they
You
would
wanna-
take it.
Whatever works
They wanna
best.
follow,
And that way we can follow along while you're talking.
You are fine.
Hmm?
Good. Oh, well, she's doing that, the lighting at the, library.
Yep.
I'm also, looking at that, I came up with, three levels of, action, which that will, go to the board too, to find out which one they prefer. Would you like to be in on that discussion before it gets too far?
Todd Shops.
Because that's a town-owned building, and
Right.
you would be paying for the,
Yeah, we pay for it, the library trustees don't.
Right, so, yeah.
Thank you. Well, I mean, Bob's our,
Thank you.
the energy committee,
Yes.
rep, I mean,
Mhm.
I don't know what your thoughts are, what, Mr. Martell?
Well,
Yeah.
I think we talked about this once before, you know, that
Yeah.
because we own the building,
Right.
you know, I think we'd like to know
Yeah.
Absolutely.
before, even before
Yeah.
the trustees know.
The, Mary wrote up a list of issues, you know.
Right.
And being a user, that's where you go to look for one of the places where you go. And, the light on the porch on the entrance was not working. The motion sensor, and I found out that in the vestibule inside, there are two switches. The one on the right is the one that lets that one work, so they put that on. The one over the basement, entrance there, I have attempted to get that one to work, especially with Halloween coming up, right? And I've changed bulbs and I can't get it to work. So, that should be replaced, perhaps with one like this here, that doesn't scatter the light to the neighbors, who were really pleased, by the way, with these rather than what was there before. And then there's another one that is to take and put downlighting on the two rear corners of the building to light the parking lot area, which is currently not lit, even if that one was working. And in that case, then it might also light the ramp and all the other area too. So I'll work on getting quotes on that after I have one or two done.
All right.
Okay. All right.
So Bob, so keep him apprised as our
Yes.
rep,
Yep.
and we'll definitely.
All right, so you get all these numbers here. The two that have got a pencil line through them, those are at the transfer station, and those are the pole lights that we basically rent.
Rent
Okay.
these, huh?
Yes. Which is why the cost per kilowatt hour is a whole bunch higher, but on the other hand, that also includes bulb changing and maintenance and
Right.
whatnot. So, and it isn't a whole lot of money, either of those. But where I got to, like, got into looking at the demand charges. One of the electricians who did the
Unless you. Thank you.
the solar quotes said if there's any motors in there, you know when the motor starts, there's a big inrush and that spikes the current drawer. But so you get a soft start module, but the utility looks at an average over either 15 or 30 minutes, so that isn't viable. But so what I'm doing is trying to find out ways to reduce that demand charge. Out of the total bill at the town garage of $16.33, that's $244. Where this gets interesting is at the fire station. We did a lighting rent fit over there,
Yep.
and it didn't really show up much. And that said, lighting was a relatively small portion of the overall load.
Mm-hmm.
And then I see here, out of $4,310, demand charges are
$1,100.
what?
$1,100.
Yeah. So that's a fair amount of money. There is something going on there. Woody showed me that compressor that was in the basement there.
Which one? Stationary or SCBA? We have one that fills air bottles,
Right.
only runs when we use it.
When you walk into the room, it's on the side opposite the furnace.
Yeah, there's two air compressors, One's
Right.
a station air and one
Yeah.
is a air to fill out reenact rooms.
But, by the horsepower on those, it doesn't appear that, those are causing a lot of demand. There's something else going on in there, and since it's a fair amount of money there, there are people who are knowledgeable for a fee, on finding out where is the demand actually happening and when. And they also, there's also a type of meter you can put on the main box that says exactly when this is gonna happen, which is a clue about. Is that something that's worth looking at? That's about a quarter of the bill anyhow, on average.
And that's my question, is how much it usually costs us, about $1,000 for that kind of analysis?
I'm going to get a figure on that. I contacted a couple of the places, and they, I don't have that information in time for this meeting. So,
Yeah, well, I think we should.
pending the
Oh, yeah.
cost,
Yeah, that's a big,
Like a feeling is,
it's a big buck.
yeah,
I mean, if it costs us, say, $1,000, $1,500, and we can drop the bill $1,000 or more,
yeah.
you know, for the next number of years, I mean, the return on investment's there after the first year or so,
Yeah.
we get it
Yeah,
back.
I just as a rule of thumb, I attempt to keep the payback 4 years or less. The lighting here in the gym was about a 2.5 to 3 year payback, but
Mhm.
with the incentives.
Yep.
So I should go ahead and look at that, get back to you with the numbers, and then we can make a decision.
You agree with that?
Yeah.
I think by consensus, that's
Yeah.
affirmative.
Good job.
He wasn't here when you read Donna's.
Oh.
Do you wanna just let him know?
Do you have anything to add to that I don't know?
This goes over.
That's where electricity came to the police department.
Oh, okay.
No, I mean, they're there 40 hours a week, they're there at night, they're there,
Yeah.
they have an air conditioner, we don't, I mean, we have 2 furnaces, so the whole building's off that one meter.
Right, no, that's.
You can't say that Fireside's using, but, you know, we do have compressors that run, we have a washing machine,
Yeah,
and
see,
dryer, but, you know, I
it's,
know the oil consumption went up when they went 40, full-time at the police station, doesn't make sense, they're there
yeah,
more often, and
Absolutely.
so, it's the whole building you have to look at, you just can't look at the,
and those are all
Fires.
pieces of information that I need, so thank you.
but, you know, we've done all, changed the lights in the last few
I
years.
mean, to be honest with
both
you,
sides.
we're aware that you guys are, you know, cohabitating in
Yeah,
that one building, and it's not just one branch of the service or the other, you know, you guys
Yeah.
are,
Oh, yeah, but I'm just saying, it's just, it
Contributing.
could be anything in the whole building.
absolutely,
It's just
we don't
on
know until we find
fire
out.
side.
Yeah, the demand charges apply if you have a 15 or a 30-minute period where the demand goes over 5,000 watts. So,
5,000 watts is a chunk of change, you know.
there's a lot of motors will burn that.
Exactly, right.
And the transfer station's got a lot of motors, but, I need to look into that a little bit more. They do have variable frequency
Frequency
drives
controls,
on
yeah.
those, but I'm not ready to bother your time with it anymore.
No, that's
I don't know enough on that.
Yeah, if you could take and, find out what it's gonna cost and so forth, and, let us know, but, sounds like from what I'm hearing here is that, you know, let's, dig into it and see if we can find a way to reduce our electricity costs and keep these guys, operating without any hiccups, that'd be awesome.
Okay.
Absolutely, no, appreciate that, John, 'cause,
Yeah, the The rebates for this year are all gone, so it'll be starting in January
Mhm.
17th.
It'll be kinda nice if, I don't know how soon these people can do it, but if there are some thoughts and suggestions that they can come back before the budget's carved in stone, it gives us an idea what we can actually budget for to help maybe move some of those improvements along the way to help the police and fire do their job and also be energy
Yeah.
efficient at the same time.
Both those things, yes. When, the budget becomes cast in stone, what's,
It's February when we do the public hearings, right? Yeah.
And hopefully
although,
we have those numbers before then.
right,
Yeah.
because with the solar, it turns out we needed to have those maybe back in December, yeah.
Sooner the better, I mean, so like,
Yes.
if you contact someone now and, you know, you got a company up there that can come do it, I mean, let us know, work with Lean and, you know,
Yeah.
Donna and Andy Dunn, sent in a $200 contribution to the energy committee. We accepted it and put it in towards your coffer there to take and do your good work as the energy committee. just
When
let you
did
know.
they send it in?
Today, she dropped it off at like 4:30.
That is the second donation, right? Hey, just another thing, did you get anything yet from the, solar outfit in Concord? They were gonna take a donation.
I can't recall. We
I
may
thought they
have.
did, didn't they?
Yeah, I think they did.
We
Did
did
we?
that like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I thought we accepted it
Yeah,
as
I thought
well.
we accepted something, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yep.
I hadn't heard and I had forgotten to ask. Yeah.
No, I think we did it like, what, 2 weeks ago or so.
Okay.
Maybe even 3.
Yeah, I think it's a long one.
So, yeah, that was supposed to be towards your energy fair that you were
Correct.
gonna do. And I think that was, the same thing as what this donation was for, is, you know, so you guys can
Yep.
continue doing your work. You know, or if you need to buy a piece of equipment, whatever the case may be.
That's very generous, it gets a big thank you.
Yep. I don't know if the energy committee wants to write a thank you note or not, that's up to you guys.
I didn't know
Sure.
it happened, so,
Yep, no, that's what,
all right. Good, thank you.
thank you, John, appreciate it.
John, thanks.
Anything else for John?
No, that's,
Alrighty then.
that's the recommendation that we talked about, John, was getting this stuff in
Yeah.
so that we can figure it into the budget.
Correct.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, John.
Thank you, John.
Chief Wigan, you taking off?
Yes.
Are you, okay, you got anything else for the good of the order before you leave?
Fine.
Alright, thank you. Have a good night.
You too.
Thank you. Alright, gotta get to the mailbox here, guys. Let's see what we get done. Lean's requesting leave for 11/21 through the 23rd, that's Lean's good week, right? And then the 28th through the 29th, which is the following Monday, Tuesday, right? So that's her 40 hours, 24. There we go. I don't see any reason why you guys don't. Alright, so we'll sign it.
Well earned.
Absolutely.
Well deserved.
Interesting. Didn't get that long.
Yeah,
Alrighty. Approved. Oh, you're welcome, thank you. Alright, we have Mr. St. Clair here to update us, this was in part of the non-public last week. I'm not gonna get into it, you guys read it initially? Yeah. Okay, good.
They didn't initially already?
You did.
Okay.
Um,
And then the other
my
one's not
only
public.
recommendation would be to have the tenant sign it first,
Yep.
because he's agreed to follow it, and then I can come back with the boards to have him sign it, so.
You guys okay with that?
Yep.
There's no sense signing it if he's not doing it. So. Fred, you got anything else with the good of the order? Hey Fred, I see you taking up too, you got anything you wanna add, because we're going into public comment, so.
No, just my public comment, what I said before. And I take into consideration the history of that.
I think it's safe to say, what we're gonna do is do our research and then probably have a public hearing on it as well, just to let everybody weigh in that wants to weigh in on it, so you'll
I
have an
mean, if they
opportunity.
wanna know where I get the information from, it's all of Dunbarton's history book. books.
I think you listed it out while you were here, so.
Yeah,
and
I'm
also
gonna
there's-
reach out to you for
Huh?
that information.
Yeah, and there's also, Sampson still has a direct descendant who lives in Pittsfield. Cause I brought a relative to where, based on Highland Noises, X on his map there, where they lived, you know. So there's still a lot of history because of
That'd be
that.
the case when we have a public meeting, we could, a public hearing, we could invite her if she, so chooses to come and weigh in.
Well,
Maybe, maybe not, I don't know. Just,
she came to this town and she's trying to, find out about her descendants.
Yep.
And she told me a lot of history of her descendants and there's a thing that's missing called the Tenny Papers.
I think I've heard of those, cause I do genealogy, so.
Yeah, but nobody knows where they are. Chances are they could've got burnt up when the town hall burnt. But, she swore up and down, this fine young lady here was stopping her from reading them, but Linda doesn't have them.
Right.
But unless they were in somebody's house years ago, we don't. But, I suppose there's a lot of information about that and about the black people who lived in this town and stuff like that. But, Jane can be a nice lady, but watch
Okay.
out too.
Just throwing it out there as an option, possibilities, whatever, so, play it by ear. Well, thank you, Fred, appreciate it.
Thank you.
As we said, open a public comment, Leo, you got anything you wanna add?
Yeah, actually, I've been looking at this back page every week, and it doesn't seem like anything's coming off, it seems like it's adding up. It's like, town common policy, and the common bench
Yep.
policy, all these policies are just hanging here. Is there anything going on with them, or anybody working on those, or are they just gonna be,
Well, that's a good question.
I mean, I know this is a really tough time for you guys, because you're coming into some really busy time now.
Yep.
I'm just curious, anybody even thinking about these, or are they just gonna keep adding up?
They're not going unnoticed, but
So at this,
we're only, there's only so much time in the day we're going,
No, right.
like Tom and I have other jobs.
yeah,
so-
I understand all that, I really do.
so,
So, but I guess, cause like the town common policy, is there actually any policy at all?
Physically, there isn't one, we have a draft.
But I mean, okay, so if I wanted to put a bench out there, I could do it still.
No. Still public property, you still have to come through us.
So everybody does.
At this point, and it still probably will with the policy, but the policy's gonna hopefully outline what's acceptable, what's not acceptable,
Right.
and placement and such.
Okay.
Right now, it's, basically the policy is, you come to the selectmen and it's up to the will of the selectmen at that given time with whoever's sitting on the board.
That was that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way I figured it, but I hear through the grapevine, there's a bench going in, and I'm like, I didn't hear anything about it, I'm at the meetings all the time.
Yeah, there's gonna get on your bench, right? Is that what you told them, on your bench?
No,
I haven't heard or been
Well, there's
approached by
another
anybody.
bench, no one's approached us.
that's what I thought, because I come to the meetings, but,
Yeah, one's
I
approached
heard
us,
it
so
last
they're
week after men's coffee,
Mhm.
and someone mentioned it to me, and I was like, geez, I didn't hear anything about that.
So the unfortunate part with the corners is they were kind of given,
Yeah.
Be okay to
the
order
okay
it or purchase
and
it.
what the conditions were that they had to meet.
Yeah.
And then when they were ready to do it,
They
they
didn't want-
decided no bench, cause they were ready to do it, you know?
Yeah.
So is that still,
I don't know if it's some of this, and you're
on your
right,
bench might be out.
and you're right,
Oh,
some of this we
I
can
can't
go
hear
through real quick,
Mhm.
but,
Yeah, well, I guess I'm just looking at it every week, I'm just wondering, that's all. But the Gagne bench, is that still going on, or is that not going to happen, or?
They contacted us not too long ago.
It's, the email is still in your basket, in one of the pending folders.
Yeah.
Do you want me to revive it, bring
We
up
can. I mean, we can.
with the board?
Sure.
I just, you guys have to understand that every time I have to do another policy or work on something, it takes me away from my everyday duties, so
I
it's,
understand, yeah. Due to lack of staffing in your office and the fact that we're part-time, I mean, it's, we do the best we can with what we have available.
right, and my thing with that was so that they were given
Yeah.
conditional approval,
yeah,
and they met those.
Yeah, they
And
can,
so, you know, I don't know if you grandfather them in.
well,
It seems unfair not to allow it after you said yes, they've gone through the motions, and then say, hold up. I understand people don't wanna see a lot of clutter, a lot of benches, but a decision had been made.
memory serves, when we said yes, and we gave them a couple options on where to locate it, and I don't think they liked either location.
Well, I
And
think,
that was, I think that was the crux of the issue.
I think one of the locations, the problem being that you have a neighbor on the corner that didn't want it going over by the bandstands. The Hodgman
Yeah.
on the corner.
I
Right,
thought-
oh yeah, because we were gonna move all around the bandstand,
I think we were recommending the school too,
yeah.
was another
The
option.
school was an option, and also right out front here was an
Yeah.
option.
Yeah,
They kinda wanted it out front and center, you know, in a prominent place, and, you know, we gotta get control of that, that's why we decided to go with a policy, but, yeah, I know the Hodgmans didn't have, they didn't like the idea of moving their bench.
That's for Richmond, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Gene Hodgman,
Mm.
yeah,
you know, and I can understand where they're coming from, but, you know,
But at least you could put some of that to rest,
Yep.
where anyone else that may be considering it will
Yep.
come to the selectmen to decide, cause there's no sense, and again, to list a whole bunch of policies and we don't get a chance to do anything with any of them. And, you know, it's kinda, I hate to say it, but
well, I think this was created so that we wouldn't forget them, and it would be a constant reminder, and,
you know, any one of us is welcome to work on any given policy or any
Yes.
topic on the back here that they so choose will pick up and wanna run with.
this one here, I'll ask the chief if he gets a chance to work on the peddlers ordinance.
Well, they gave us some
Yeah.
options, and